At first glance, Studio Beam's newest game looks like one of those insanely difficult bullet hell shooters where you're stuck in a circular arena and doing everything you can to just stay alive. But look again, because only part of that describes Soundodger 2. Yes, it's a game where you're stuck in a circular arena doing everything you can to stay alive, but this is no shooter. That's right, it's a bullet hell rhythm game where the goal in each stage is to avoid the circles, squares, and spikes being generated by an eclectic mix of pop songs. It's a fun way to shake up both the shoot 'em up and rhythm genres, creating an instantly likable sequel that I had a hard time putting down. This is my review of Soundodger 2, out now on PC. After years of playing and dancing along to some of music's biggest hits, it's time for those songs to get their revenge. That's the premise of Soundodger 2, a game that generates challenging bullet hell scenarios from the beats and sounds found in the music that you're listening to. It's your job to guide a small little circle around an arena, all while dodging everything the song will throw at you. Of course, this is a lot harder than it sounds. I mean, just because you're not actively shooting down enemies doesn't make those bullet hell patterns any easier. You still have to carefully weave through all the different shapes, most of which won't give you a whole lot of room to maneuver. These songs are aggressive, no matter what difficulty you're playing on. The shapes will hunt you down and force you to make split-second decisions, and that's before the song starts adding extra obstacles and even shrinking the playing field. Like I said, dodging anything and everything is a lot easier said than done. Now, this is one of those games where the concept is so simple that you expect it to become boring and repetitive after really only a few songs. Thankfully, that's not the case. Part of what makes Soundodger 2 so much fun is that each level feels like its own musical experience. It's in the types of shapes that they throw at you, the way the stages will change around you, the fact that the colorful playfield will suddenly go black and white, and the way that the action will intensify to the beat of the music. Every one of the 40 stages offers something new and unique, and I couldn't wait to see how they would visualize each song. It certainly helps that the game starts to add extra wrinkles as you get into some of the harder tracks. You'll soon realize that there's more to this than just dodging, because there are these dotted circles that you're going to need to interact with before they fall off of the screen. Sometimes this means that you're going to need to stay in one area in order to charge up the circle, something that's going to greatly limit your ability to dodge attacks. There are even a couple of stages that are going to push our little avatar outside of the playfield, essentially turning it into a 2D action game. This is a game that's overflowing with innovative ways to shake up the fairly simple gameplay. Now, for as much as I love dodging the shape patterns, the real strength of this game is the soundtrack. I often complain that most smaller games in the rhythm genre tend to be boxed into a corner when it comes to the music. Filling up a playlist with recognizable hit songs is expensive. So many games turn to bands that can create generic versions of the various music genres. That's not the case with Soundodger 2. I never got the impression that these were half-finished songs made specifically for a game soundtrack. Rather, these are real songs from up-and-coming bands. It feels like one of those sampler discs that you might get, where all the unknown bands are going to be popular 5 or 6 years into the future. I'm not gonna lie, I genuinely love the music in this game. There are a bunch of tracks here that I would listen to on repeat outside of the game. And that's not something I can say about most smaller rhythm games. If there's not already a YouTube playlist featuring all of these songs, then somebody needs to get on that immediately. Personally speaking, I feel like the game's 40 songs offers a lot of variety and hours of fun, since each level has different difficulties as well as a challenge mode. That said, if you still want more, there is a level editor that allows you to create your own bullet hell stages. You can also download and trade songs with other players, though you're gonna need to do that outside of the game because there's no way to upload your stages to some sort of centralized server. That certainly would have been convenient, but I'm sure that it would have been a licensing nightmare. Thankfully, I feel like there's more than enough content here to warrant the price, even if you never end up dabbling with the user-created content. Look, if you're the type of person who thinks that every review needs to be highly critical, then, well, prepare to be disappointed. As far as I'm concerned, Soundodger 2 does everything just about right. The cursor is incredibly easy to move around the screen with either the mouse or the controller, the graphics are bursting with style, the soundtrack is top-notch, there's enough content here to keep you playing for hours on end. As somebody who loves both shoot-'em-ups and rhythm games, this was a game that I had a hard time putting down. It's near perfect for what it's doing, and outside of a better scoring system and maybe online leaderboards, I'm honestly not sure what they could possibly add to Soundodger 3 to make it any better. This is one of the year's biggest and best surprises. Think of Soundodger 2 as Bullet Hell, the musical. This stylish and fast-paced action game turns your music against you, creating innovative and incredibly exciting levels built around challenging bullet patterns and your ability to get out of the way. It's an immensely likable concept that is easy to pick up but nearly impossible to put down. The killer soundtrack, cool visual effects, deep level creator, and impressive length help make Soundodger 2 not only a must-own rhythm game, but also one of the best games of the year. Hey, thanks for watching our review. If you liked what you saw here, then you should know that we post new reviews and features almost every day. I mean, this is our third review of the week. Now, here's the question I have for you. What is your favorite bullet hell game? Sure, most of them are shooters, but I think the term can apply to several other genres. Just look at this game. I'm excited to see your picks in the comments below. In other news, we'll be back next week with more reviews and another look back at classic gaming magazines. If that sounds good to you, then I strongly recommend you click that subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then.